Let's talk about two new features that Uber is piloting and testing. One's good, one probably not. Hey everyone, my name is Chris and welcome to Real Rideshare Stories. And today we're going to be talking about one feature that Uber is piloting in several cities, which is called Upfront Fares. And that's essentially going to tell you what the fare is going to be, including the pickup and drop-off info. And they're going to tell you what you're going to make right off the bat. So you could decide if you want to take that or not. And the second feature we're going to be talking about is long trip filters. So you could filter on and off if you want to take a long trip or not. Now, this is something I like, and we're going to dive into it in just a few moments. But first, let's talk about Upfront Fares. All right, so this is taken straight from Uber's blog. This is actually from Columbus, one of the pilot markets. And I'll leave a link in the description below. So if you want to check out this more in detail, because I'm only going to pull some of the highlights out of it, then you're going to be able to. So going on, it's talking about upfront fares for better choices. Well, upfrontly, yeah, you'll probably be able to have a better idea on what you want to take and what you don't want to take, depending on the information you're given. So there is a positive to it, but there are quite a few negatives. Also, I am going to want to know what you think about this particular feature. You're going to have to comment below and let me know. But going on, it says driving with Uber has always been about flexibility, and now we're offering you even more choice while on the road. Starting Monday, August 23rd, which is today when I'm recording it, but yesterday when you're actually seeing this, they are testing upfront fares on trip requests so you can see exactly how much you're going to earn and your rider's destination before accepting a trip. Now, knowing the pickup and drop-off locations is great. Seeing what you're going to make up front, pretty good too. But there are still a few negatives, as I was saying. So going on, let's talk about how upfront fares work. You're going to see exactly how much you'll earn and where you're going to be going before accepting the trip. If your rider leaves a tip, it will be added at the end of the ride and you'll see it in your trip receipt. Upfront fares include the base fare and surge. The upfront fare will replace time and distance rates. So guess what? They're changing the way you get paid again. Originally, it was set up where it was 80-20 split. 80% would go to the driver, 20% to Uber. Then they went 75-25. Then they changed to upfront pricing for customers, which took time and distance and calculated it that way. Now they're doing upfront fares, which is taking away time and distance altogether. This I could see being a little bit of a negative, especially for what they're talking about in a few moments. And then it says, if a rider adds stops or changes their destination, or if the trip length changes, your fare will be updated. Any changes will be reflected on your trip receipt. So anything like that will be accounted for. So yes, fares are changing. How are they changing? Well, they're going to be adjusted by the base fare is going to now vary depending on factors like pickup time and destination of the request. Since the base fare varies on factors like pickup time, it's going to replace the long pickup fee. So you are going to get compensated on the way to pick somebody up. How it's calculated, anybody's guess. We also want to make shorter trips more worth your time, so you'll now earn more than you used to on shorter trips and less than you used to on longer trips. We do not expect these changes to affect median earnings in your city, but your earnings may increase or decrease depending on the type of trips you take. And to show you the difference between the old way and new way when it comes to a short and long trip, at least on paper, they're showing if you took a ride that was 5 miles and 15 minutes long, you would have earned $6.38 according to the old way. Now, the new way for that same trip, you would earn $7.94. So a little bit more. But how you calculate that, again, who knows? And then the long trip is before, if you have the distance of 20 miles and the time was 30 minutes, your total earnings would be $19.92, and the new way of doing it, you would only earn $16.19. So here's the problem. Instead of rates going up across the board or increasing your pay, which they should be doing because gas prices are rising, they're finding a new way to probably screw drivers. Now, a few things to note about this particular pilot is that it is going in multiple cities. I'm not sure exactly what markets it is, so if you have it in your market, comment below with what it is. It's not in my market, so I don't know. Also, what are you seeing? Are you noticing good things about it? Are you noticing bad things about it? Are you noticing more or less when it comes to what trips you're taking? Comment below and let me know. Remember, upfront fare and destination applies to UberX, XL, Uber Comfort, Uber Black, Uber Wave, Uber Assist, Uber Espanol, Uber Diamond, Uber Pet, and UberX Car Seat. Hourly trips are not included in this. And if a rider stops or changes their destination, or if the trip length changes, your fare will be updated and this change will be reflected on the trip receipt. Also, when it comes to tips and tolls and any other wait time or other surcharges, they're not included in the fares that's shown up front. Tolls, fees, surcharges, and any tips paid to you by riders will be remitted to you along with the fare upon final payout. The base fare will now vary based on factors like the amount of time it took to pick up the rider, and this will replace the long pickup fee. Now, I did skip over something, but I do want to come back to it because it is kind of a little bit different than the upfront fares, but you can see other nearby trip requests. So you can browse nearby requests to find trips you want. So how you do that is you tap available requests on the map screen and select all the trips that interest you. Other drivers can be matched with available requests too, so you're not going to get every request you picked, and also completed requests will still count toward your promotions. So this is actually pretty interesting to see because it looks like you're going to be able to pick from a couple of the fares that are there and you can take them. So if you've used this feature, if you've seen this feature and you have some ideas about it or comments about it, again, comment below and let us know. And now moving on, let's talk about another feature that they're testing, it seems, in some markets, and that is a long trip filter. Now, this is something that drivers have been asking for and wanting for a long time, and it looks like it might be happening. So as you see from this screenshot right here, they show 50 plus miles UberX on or being able to filter it off so you don't have to take long trips. Now, right off the bat, if you live in one of these test pilot markets that's showing you upfront fares, you probably want to turn that long trip request off because the longer the trip is, it looks like the less you're going to get paid, which is an unfortunate thing. Either way, though, one of the good things about this is a feature that drivers wanted for a while because if they want to stay in their area or if they're coming up on the end of the shift, they don't want to take a long ride. Now, what would be really nice if they actually had the functionality where you could filter out that in terms of distance or even time when it comes to a particular ride, so you have more control over how long of a ride you want to take. Now, that would be really good, especially if you need to be somewhere at a particular time. And we all know the destination filters aren't that great, but having that added layer would be even better. So at least this is a step in the right direction. Hopefully, again, like I say, they'll be able to implement where you can control a little bit more and have a little bit more functionality versus just a 50-mile plus feature on or off. And have you seen this feature in your market? And what market is this? And also, what do you think about that? Comment below, let me know. So those are a couple of the pilots and the features that they are updating and testing in the apps. And for any changes or updates that they're doing within the apps, make sure to subscribe and ring the bell for notifications so you'll be notified every time new videos are uploaded. And if you like one or multiple of the features that they're testing or rolling out, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. And as always, never drink and drive, always tip your drivers, delivery drivers, and your shoppers, and we'll see you next time.